Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. This is all right. My videos are about love, infinity, creation, energy, because we're infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. This is the species that we are. We're the human race. We're an incredible species. This video is a video about the format of this book. It's a video about the format of this book because, as you know, I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm also an artist. I have a different channel where I have my music. I sing a cappella, and I'm also a comedian. I make jokes and I do all the things in short format. So this is who I am. But this video is precisely about the reason why I started this channel and the reason why I use the format that I use to communicate my message and my book. And why is it that I started it this way rather than the traditional way in which people launch a book through different mediums, right, and media, and I just channels and all that. So I'm gonna do all these things as well, but I didn't want to start that way because of the format that I decided was best for the quality of my content and what I actually represent as a writer, as a messenger of the Republic of Planet Earth and all these different things. So, okay. So the book format, well, it's essentially, traditionally what I've done is I flip everything upside down. Essentially, I did it in reverse. So I did it the opposite. I did everything that is supposed to be not done. Like if you understand the industries behind books and how that works and all the mechanisms and all the different systems in place for book creation and book content out there, the way it is like what they want to do is the format is the kind of like the culture is you write a book and then you start to as a draft or a manuscript or whatever, and from there the process of distillation starts. So and then that distillation process ends up being in a final version, and that version is the one that is published through the different channels. All right, so that's kind of like, and there is levels of that. There is from independence to fully like having a deal, and with different conditions and terms, right? So that's the way it is. But the way I did it was the opposite of that, opposite of all these formats. Whatever is being told and whatever is being said as the way to do it, whether if you're an independent or you are, you're signed. I said, I'm going to do it the opposite of that. So whatever that is, I'm going to do the opposite. If you say zig, I zag. If you say no, I say yes. If you say up, I say down. Yeah? That way. If you say in, I say out. So to see where that takes me, right? Where would that take me? Where would that take me if I change the format? If I flip it? If I do the opposite of what I'm supposed to do because I'm being told that I should do it this way? But what about if I want to do it my own way? A way that it's never been done before? A new way? A revolutionary way? A better way? Right? And that's the idea, right? The idea is to challenge everything. Challenge the foundations of everything that there is and would always be. Why? Because by doing that, you're testing. And by testing, you're proving concepts. And by proving concepts, you're prototyping. And by prototyping, you're actually coming to terms with things and knowing things as they are. Objective reality rather than like subjectivities of, no, this is the way it is. Oh, is it? Is it because it is the way? Or is it because you think it is the way? Or because you've been told that that's the way and that's why you do it? So you see, it's getting to the bottom of things essentially. So that's exactly what the book, this format is the way it is because, first off, it's not bound in a way of not even a PDF. That will eventually come, but the book didn't even come with a PDF and a format with pages. You see, I changed the whole thing. Not even that. I don't even have a format like a book, page 1, page 2, page 3, cover to cover. Not even that. Not even that. So how is that even like something that you can still call a book? Well, because it still is. It's just I started the way around. I did the whole writing, I did everything, but I started it the way around. Meaning, instead of doing it the way it's supposed to be done, in the way that it's been told, that this is what a book looks like and this is the channels that you use to promote a book or distribute a book, I said, no, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm not going to do any of that. So what I decided to do, essentially, instead of writing it per se, I did it visually. So that was the first revolution. The first revolution was that instead of writing a book with words, which is letters in a piece of paper, text, I did it visually. So the book is a visual book. So it's all images, number one. Because when you read, you still engage in your eyes, right? But our eyes are mostly visual. So why would I engage our eyes with a bunch of text that is, you have to read and it's long, when I can just give you an image that explains what that text put in a better way without you even having to read anything? You see, that's number one. So it's more efficient. Much, much more efficient. For the reader, I mean. Number one. I'm learning, which the purpose of a book is to learn. You don't make a book if you don't want people to learn, right? The power of books is in the fact that a book is there for people to learn. And don't you want to accelerate that learning? Don't you want people to actually learn rather than read? Because it's a lot, it's time consuming to read, and it's important to read, but like a lot of text dense books, it's quite primitive. So you need to evolve the concept and understand that yes, text is important, but relevant text, not like fluff. You just make it as visual as you can. Make it visual, visualize it, and then you add text that explains the visual. The visual is explained with the text, right? Rather than having a text that explains something and then you have to imagine in your mind because it doesn't have a visual. So rather than doing the way around, which is slow and tedious, and very much you're engaging too much of your imagination, just imagining what the text says. Rather than doing that, why don't you do it the way around? Which is you draw something. You have a visual, you have an illustration that is powerful, that explains everything that you want to explain in text. And then just to confirm it, you add text that is relevant, that describes the visual. So the little text that you read is to confirm what you're seeing with your eyes. So the idea formulates and crystallizes in your head. So you have a stronger understanding of what this means and what that is, because instead of having to read something 20 times to understand what it means, you only have to see it once and then you read the text and you understand it immediately without any need for a tedious text that is long and it might not even be well written in the first place. So it's wasteful. So that's why. So my book is visual, fully visual, and I have hundreds of visuals. So if you were to explain those visuals in text, it would take thousands of pages because I have hundreds of visuals. And these are not small visuals. This is not just one little thing. These are visuals that are big and packed with content, with illustrations, and then text describing those illustrations, right? So that's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. And what's the best system and the best format that we have that is free and is the best one? Is the best one and is free that distributes visuals? Well, it's YouTube. So instead of me going to one of those systems, I went straight to YouTube and I started uploading the videos of my image. You see, and it's funny because it's a video, short video, but then again, I'm redefining the concept. Because I'm not just uploading a video that explains the visual, me talking. No, it's just a video with a visual. But it's a video. It has no audio, but it has a video of the visual. You see, because it's the visual that matters. Because I'm putting it in the right channel, in the right network, in the right distribution network. So it's there. And then if you want to understand what that means, well, you watch it. You see what the image is and you read it because it's a book. You're reading the text that explains the visual, which is a complex, and it's a complex idea, but I distilled it into a simple idea by explaining an extremely complex idea in an extremely simple way by looking at it in a visual. All right, so I changed the format. And then instead of writing text to explain that further, what I decided to do is for me to talk about it. So then I would make a video in which I as the writer of the book, explains what that visual means with my own words. So rather than me having to write them and explain them to you in a text, in a book, I tell you with my own words what I mean by that I wrote and I drew. And because I'm human and I'm making video, this video can be transcribed. So it has a transcript. So now you can read the transcript if you like, which will be like reading the book. But it's me explaining in the simplest of ways what that visual means and what I mean by that visual. Now you can make a very long video and then you can have hours of transcripts if you like for you to read. Because I'm already giving you the text. But I'm giving you in a visual way, so you look at me and understand that we're having a conversation about that visual. That visual, which is a page of the book, which I have hundreds of visuals, which means I have hundreds of pages. It's a book of hundreds of pages of visuals that then I explain with my words. Because my words would give you the transcript later on. You're going to get a transcript later on, which is part of the format. But you see, because what happens is that a lot of authors out there, they do the book in whatever format, text, and with a few visuals, and they go through the traditional methods and all that, and they do all that. And when they do all that, they ended up realizing that, well, the book is out, but no one is buying it. So now I have to go to YouTube to promote it, and I cannot talk about the book because you're supposed to buy it. So I'm only gonna talk a little bit and give you nitbits of the book. So maybe I can convince you for you to buy it. So it becomes this broken system that doesn't work because you end up going to a place that is key to promote something that you're not really promoting because you're not talking about it because you can, because you're supposed to buy the book and the information is in the book. So then you created a trap for yourself by doing that. You're creating a trap for yourself because now you cannot even talk about the content of the book in the most important channel that there is, because you went the way around, the so-called good way. When in reality, what I've done is what is the meaning of this? Well, what I've done is I gave the book for free. Why? Because by giving the book for free and creating all this content, because I have hundreds of videos about the book now, which is content, and I talk about the book at length in my visuals because I own it. I'm independent. I own my copyright. And this is serious copyright. I got equations that no one else has. Once you come up with the equation, it's one equation, and these equations are equations that overpin everything in reality. And I have the copyright of all of that. So you see, and all this stuff, I'm giving it for free. Why? Because you don't need to pay for content. This idea that you have to pay for content, this is primitive. You shouldn't. If content is good quality, you shouldn't pay for it. You shouldn't pay for it because you're supposedly learning truth, right? So why would you have to pay for something that is universal? And if it's the truth, right? If it's the truth, why would you have to pay for the truth? That means that you're putting a price to truth, which means that is not truth, because truth cannot be paid for. Truth is just learned, is known. So that's what I mean. So why are you limiting yourself? So you put it out there, and then you talk about it as much as you can. So when you build an audience around that and content about your creation, eventually, if people resonate with it because you're telling them what it is, they're going to want to buy it. Why? Because they want to support you, because you already helped them. But if you cannot tell them how you're going to help them, how are they going to know that your book is any good in the first place when there is so many books out there and it's hard to choose because no one is talking about the books because you're supposed to buy it. So there is a transaction. So then you find out what the book is. And then you rely on all these reviews and all these marketing rather than actually talking about what it is and finding out without buying it whether it's going to help you. And once you put the principles in motion, it helps you. Then you buy it because it gave you value. So you're wanting to reward the person that gave you value in the first place, rather than sometimes just buying a book because you think there is value, and when you buy it, it's just nothing, and then you wasted money. But that person, it's because of the format, because it's all inverted. It's inverted logic. You're not really knowing if that is any good, because a person, if you want to, you find out who wrote it, and then you go to the places where that person should be talking about what he wrote or she wrote or whatever, or they wrote, then there's none of that. It's only promotion. It's only promotion. Promotion of the book. So it's then like, so what? So you're not telling me anything new. You're only telling me about buy my book, but not like, this is what my book is and this is what it is. So I'm doing it the opposite. You see? Everything inverted, because it's the actual way. Because truth is freedom and freedom is free. This is that you have to pay for freedom, this is nonsense. And you have to pay for truth, this is all nonsense. Whoever says that is wrong, and it's just wrong. Simple as that. So that's why I'm giving it everything for free first, because I'm building an audience. I'm building a base of people, subscribers. And I have a few already. And people that watch my content and they like it. And I'm sure that and I have a website where all the pages and the visuals are there for you to download for free. So you can go and download it for free and have information, because I'm writing a book which is a user manual. And this user manual is a user manual that is relevant for everybody, every human. If you have a heartbeat and eyes, this will work for you, because we all do. So it's as simple as that, because it's based on objective reality. So why would I gate something that is extremely important for everybody? That doesn't make any sense. So what I do instead is the opposite. I promote it as much as I can for free. And I don't promote it by like talking about it in a way in which is do this so you find out. No, I talk about it directly. And what I mean and the reason why I wrote it, and the whys and the behinds and all the thinking and everything that went into it and why I did it that way. And I explain to you what that means and why is it that it means that, and why I did that and everything, and how is it that that applies to you and to everyone else, and why is this based on objective reality and all that. So in that way, I'm essentially documenting, logging with these videos, everything. I'm logging everything that there is about the information, because it's easy to get transcripts now. So if you really want to read, well, you can read my transcripts. And then you can also watch the content, and you can also see the image by downloading it or by watching it on the YouTube channel. So in that way, you see everything is available for everybody. And it also allows me to explain it better, because I dedicate a lot of time and energy to explaining what this is, what this means, and what it represents, and how is it that this is valuable for everybody. And by doing it in that way, everyone benefits. Everyone benefits. And once I'm done and satisfied that I built an audience, that I built a readership, that I built a subscription, that I have a base of people who actually benefit from what I'm doing for them, which is telling them things that are true based on objective reality, that it impacts them all in a positive way in their lives. Once I did that, and now I know that people are resonating with it, now then I have the credentials to go and say, look, finally, what is supposed to be done first, which is the book, now you can have, here is the book, here's the format, the PDF format. If you can download it for free, if you want to pay for it on my website, or you can buy it from the different channels that they have, because I will do that as well. So you see, I'll give you all the options, but I'm not going to give you a format in which it has to be this way, because by doing it, that is the opposite of what you want to do as a writer. Because as a writer, if you're serious about writing, and if you're serious about being a creator, what you want to make sure is that what you're writing is read or seen or understood and appreciated. That's what you really want. And the way you do that is by actually doing it, meaning providing it to the world for free, giving it for free. And by doing it in that way, you're really testing the waters, whether people want this or not. And by doing that, then you can also add it to the channels, because if people resonate with it, they will buy it. Rather than having to buy something because they don't know if that something is good, they just heard that it's good because people are saying that it's good, rather than them themselves finding out by themselves. Because in that way, this is the best way to do it, because you're flipping it. And by doing it that, you're also lowering all the barriers. As a writer, you can do these because you know that even if you spend all the time and all the energy doing the book format in that format and you launch it, you might have zero sales because you have no distribution networks behind you, you have no systems behind you. So you're still wasting your time, because then what? Are you just going to do something that is not making any sales in the first place? And then you're going to just go to promote it, and something that you're not even selling and you're not even talking about it when you're promoting it? So that makes no sense whatsoever. That is just like you're literally just not doing it right. So because it's not helping you. What's helping you is what helps you to be known. And to be known is not to be known as a person, is to be known as an artist, as a creator. Like whatever you create, people are resonating with, helping them directly. Not that they know who you are as an author. No. That what you wrote is actually having an impact in their lives. That's the actual measurement. It's not how many books you sold and how many, keynotes you're given, or how many platforms are given to you by all these networks and deals that you sign. That's not how you measure the quality of a writing or an author or a writer. You measure it is in the impact that those words, those creations of yours have in someone's life. That they actually do something in their lives directly, as a direct action, as a consequence of what you told them in your text or in your visuals or whatever. That's the quality of an author. No, because you sold millions of copies. That's not the way. Great if you can do those things. Fantastic. Amazing. But what's the impact? The real impact behind it. So how many lives are you changing with your words? Right? So that is the whole thing. And this is why this format opens up everything for everybody, because first off, YouTube is free. Number one. Number two, everyone can record from a phone like I'm doing myself. Right? I'm recording this video from a $300 phone, okay? And all my videos. So you see the barriers are very low. So then, and then what? Well, I'm talking about it. Serious research, decades of research that I've done in my life, committed to my book for free. Telling everybody, look, it's there for free. You can do it immediately. It's yours. You don't have to pay for this. This is it. Because I'm not doing it for any other reason but that of helping. So with my love, helping. So you put it out there and you help as much as you can. And when you do that, then it's different, because you start to build something. You start to build momentum because you're doing it for real. And once you're doing it for real, rather than not for real, you're doing it for real, and you're putting yourself out there in the biggest platform that there is, talking about it and explaining it and really doing it, is better than any podcasts that are talking about a book that they cannot talk about, because they're promoting it. They're not talking about it. They're promoting it so you buy it, right? Instead of talking about it and going page by page, and this is what I meant here, and this is what it is, like a reader's club or something. Like something like that, but you're doing it directly with your audience, and you talk directly to them in that way, and you talk about it like that, and you talk about it in that way because you're engaging them, and then they would actually say, you know what, that's true, and I'm gonna put that into practice. I'm gonna read it again, and I'm gonna check it again, and I'm gonna watch the next video, and blah 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 blah, right? And in that way, you're building a serious readership, a serious follow that these subscribers would all support you, because you're helping them already. You're giving everything for free. So they know these. They already know these because they watch your content. They follow you. Okay? You're helping them in their lives. And because you're helping them in their lives, you think they're not going to help you. They're going to start giving you the things that you deserve as a result of helping people, which is called reciprocity. So if you have a book in the actual format in the right channel, they would end up buying a copy. Because they know, it's like, you see, it's like when this idea is attached, like, oh, this book has helped me so much and I want to gift it to you because it changed my life. This whole idea, well, guess what? That person that already knows that what you're saying is legit would do it. And they say, I'm going to help this fella and buy his book or her book or their book because he helped me. And what's the channel? Is it physical? Is it digital? How do I find a way to help him? How can I donate? How can I do something to support this person that has helped me so much for free? And you can see the quality and the commitment in every word, in every statement, in everything that they do. So that's the difference. You see, it's flipping everything over. And then that gives you total power and total control over your content and over your production and distribution and everything. Because you don't have to follow any terms or conditions of anyone. Because it's you, because you're independent as a writer, as a musician, as anything. So you do everything your own terms, your own terms. You do it independently. You're sovereign, right? Self-sovereignty. And then that resonates. Believe me, particularly in these times, it truly resonates. So because that's the case, then you're going to get rewarded one way or another because of what you're doing. Because in the end, there's something, you have a final product in the end. You do end up having a book in the end that can be commercialized. You do end up having a song that can be commercialized. You do end up having a movie that can be commercialized. You end up having a video that can be commercialized. So all these things end up happening and you have them there, but you're doing it the way around. By changing the format, you're redefining everything. You're inverting the logic of everything because you're bringing everything that is not necessarily, because just because something is done for so long, that doesn't mean that is the best way to do. It's just that it's been done for so long because there's a common understanding or belief, given certain conditions, that this is the best way to do things. Is this, this old idea of like, this is how we do things around here. What we know as culture, right? Oh, this is the way we do things around here. Oh, this is the way things are done, or don't rock the boat type of mentality. Don't rock the boat. No. This is not how we do things around here. And all this type of commentary, that's all part of it. It's all part of these ideas of culture that are okay because cultures are fine. But you need to understand what the word culture comes from. It literally comes from a petri dish. The culture. And what's the culture? Well, the thing that you're growing. You're growing something in a petri dish. That's what culture is. That's the actual term. So what you're telling me is that culture is something that you're growing in a petri dish? So how is that healthy? How is it healthy that everyone is growing in a petri dish? And the culture and the narratives and all this stuff and all these scripts and all this stuff is all based on the culture. Because you got to follow the culture. What about if the culture is rubbish? Because it's petri dish. So I don't want that. I want that be the opposite of that. I want that our real culture is based on real stuff, not a petri dish, right? And the way you do that is based on what? Identity and true self, and being yourself, loving yourself, and being honest with who you are, and as a human. So that is the way it is. So then again, you see, and that's why culture has its positives and its negatives. So we need to take the best out of it. Right? To make sure that the petri dish is not putrefied, right? And we have actually a free culture, a culture that is free. And freedom is the underpinning value of our culture, rather than all the narratives and all the nonsense, right? It has to be the real things, the things that matter, the things that liberate us all, that make us freer, because we're a free society, we're a free planet. And this is why I'm doing it the other way around, because in that way, I'm testing the waters. And by doing that, you're testing what people really want to hear. And people love these. People love to be told things without having to pay for them. Particularly things that are good, that are going to help them. And because people are smart, so they're going to go and watch it and put it into practice. If you say something to them that is actually valuable, people will go and do it. And when they do it, if it helps them, they're going to be grateful for what you've done for them. And they're going to reward you, because that's what we do. Our species this is objective reality. We're a species that purely focuses on reward in the terms of reciprocity. I reward you when you reward me. And the best mechanism of reward is love. Love is the built-in mechanism in our instincts. So we love each other because it's rewarding. It's very rewarding to love you, because when I love you, you love me back, and you give me something that makes me feel great. And that makes me feel amazing. That makes me feel incredible. So you see, it's a reward mechanism that we have, which is called reciprocity, which is the instinct of the culture, of the species, which is to love, to be better. Because when I'm better, you're better, and we're all better. And that idea is what builds everything, what builds incredible societies, because this is who we are. The society of planet Earth is incredible. Why? Because we are incredible. Because our species is amazing. Because this is who we are. We're the human race. We're an incredible species. So as you know, I just wanted to make this video for this specific format, explaining the video these video formats that I'm making about my book, and how is it that my book is this? How is it that my book is this? Well, my book is this is because this is the best way that I found to make it available for free to everybody. The best format. The best format. This is the best format by far. The best format. The best format. Why? Because when you're doing it because I want to help, I'm going to be helped as a result of me helping you. This is just the way it is. It's just the way it is. By helping, I get helped. because people help doesn't go unnoticed. When you help and all you do is to help, what you do is to help. That when you define yourself in the actions of help, what you do is helping. When you just become a helper, when you just become someone that is useful, that is helpful, someone that is there to provide value, to add value, to help, to make things better. When you do that and you become that person, people are going to notice and they're going to start to help you. They're going to start to help you as a result of the way you are, because you're helping them, and it's in their instinct. It's innate. We reward those that reward us, because but then you got to start the cycle somehow. So if you're the one rewarding, meaning if you're the one helping, if you're the one making others better, and by that you're helping yourself, then that's a perfect cycle. It's a virtuous cycle of reward. And by that, those that you're rewarding would reward you as a result, because you're rewarding them without them having to give you any reward. So you're rewarding them without them having to reward you. And when you create this cycle of infinite abundance and infinite prosperity, in which you become someone that rewards and just makes everything better for everyone else, and become a bridge of understanding and logic and reason and common sense and objective reality and, pragmatism, practical know-how, how. When you become a standard, when you become the format, when you become that and you change everything, then people will reward you as a result because of what you've done, because of your contribution. And the contribution is a reward that you get by helping others without expecting anything in return. Because you're not rewarding people because you want to be rewarded. You're rewarding people because you know that by rewarding them, you are rewarding yourself. That's how it works. Because by rewarding people, you are rewarding yourself. By rewarding them, you are rewarding yourself. This is the way it is. This is the reward contribution mechanism. This is how it works, and this is the name of this video. Reward contribution mechanism. Okay? Reward contribution mechanism is by rewarding, you reward. And the best way to reward is by doing it this way. With all your love, with all your heart, with your energy, with all your creation, your heartbeat, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation. That's the contribution that you're giving, is the reward. You're rewarding people with your contribution. It's a reward contribution mechanism. It's a reward contribution. Reward contribution. That's what you do. You're rewarding, you're contributing. And what are you contributing? Well, you're contributing your reward. And by rewarding your contribution, you get rewarded as a result by the contributions of others. And this is an infinite virtuous cycle of reward and contribution. Reward and contribution, reward and contribution. Reward and contribution. Reward and contribution. And this cycle goes forever. It's an infinite virtuous cycle of reward and contribution, which is the name of the video. It's reward and contribution. Because this is who we are as a species. This is who we are. Our rewards come as a result of us rewarding others, meaning loving them. You love them. And by loving them, you love yourself. And by loving yourself, you can reward them with all the help that you can provide, all the contribution, all these beautiful things. And this is how it works. Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my mind. Remember, this video is about that. It's about the book format, why I did it that way. Why? Because of rewards and contributions. Because this is who we are. This is the species that we are. We reward and we contribute as a result of us rewarding ourselves with a love for ourselves. Okay? That's our contribution. We contribute by loving ourselves. Because by loving ourselves, we are rewarding the world with our love, which is our creation. And they get benefited by that. And as a result, they want to reward us and contribute their own love to us. And this is an infinite virtuous cycle of reward and contribution. I love you all with all my heart, with all my mind. I love you all with all my heart, with all my mind. Have a wonderful day.